Boxing open tonight. The flyweights are underway. This is an entertaining division. Lots of punches, lots of action. And David Griman of Venezuela was taking on Joe Lawlor of Ireland. Let's pick up action in the second round. And for the call, Don Chevrier and Paul Horning.
Round two is underway between David Griman in the red from Venezuela and the green-clad Irishman, Joseph Lawlor, the champion of Ireland from the city of Dublin. David Griman, with a good first round, appeared to have the advantage. Paul, South American champion, silver medalist in the world champions. He's shown a good right. He's just 19 years of age, and I really am amazed at how he handles himself in the ring, given that tender age.
He's got a good reach. He's got a 66-inch reach for this little flyweight, and he's taken full advantage of it.
Caution there by the referee, McGuire, from the United States, for using the open glove. Good hook. Good hook there by Griman. And he's forcing Lawlor in the role of a defensive fighter only at this stage. Lawlor having trouble getting something started because of the quickness. Now for a shot on the top of the head, another. Caution from the referee. Not a warning that'll take a point away, but repeated actions might do that, of course. 2019 would be a close round in amateur boxing. 2018, only 2 points, but a very decisive win for one fighter. So probably 2019 would be the scoring for Griman in that first round.
2017, and you almost had it. In 2016, they're going to stop it, right?
They'll send somebody to take you out, take you home. Again, the referee does not score. That's in the hands of the 5 ringside judges. Good to see headgear worn here at these games, and as you'll see as the games continue, that standing 8 counts are always in effect. It's a good safety measure as well. Lawlor not necessarily hurt by Griman's blows to this point, but they've been very, very effective, very good scoring blows. There's that hook he tried to throw again, came up a little short, couple of chopping hands, now uses the right again, does David Griman of Venezuela in the red shirt.
Got that advantage with that reach, Don. And he's hooking with that left hand, and he's scoring points.
The Irishman, kind of more of a flat-footed kind of brawler. At least that's what he'd like to be, and working in close for those long arms, that reach advantage. The quickness of Griman keep him at bay. Puts his head down, takes some blows coming in. Now comes back with a right hand of his own.
Not going to hurt you, but as we keep reiterating, it mounts up.
You really need to take 2 rounds out of 3 to be sure, because the 2-point rounds are very, very rare in this game. Certainly 3-point rounds are uncommon. But Griman piling up the points here, as you see 3 or 4 punches from him to 1, but a good one there. Right hand thrown by Lawlor. Now Lawlor throwing the jab, trying to set up the right, didn't connect with it. Griman now dancing away as Lawlor fires a weak left, then a right to the body. Short chopping right hand to the head. And this is where the Irishman likes to be if he can stay here in close, if he can keep his man there. But he's running out of time in round number 2 as Lawlor comes out and takes a chopping right, a second one. Right down to the final seconds of the second round of their flyweight bout here in Moscow. Flyweight competition here at the Goodwill Games in Moscow, and the red is David Griman from Venezuela, kind of a classy boxer with a good reach and range and speed, against a bit of a brawler, Joseph Lawlor from Ireland, the current Irish champion out of Dublin.
Record of 65 wins, 15 losses, the current national champion in Ireland.
Maybe a little bit
maybe a little bit behind.
I think he is at this stage. After the first couple of rounds, of course, this is the third and final round. The quickness again of the combination shown by Griman from Venezuela, who's just 19 and has a promising future in amateur boxing. He's been as high as the silver medalist podium at the World Championships in Reno held this past spring. He's got a good right hand, but a pretty quick left hand, too, as we've seen.
Very quiet crowd here at the sports complex, but I think that's natural. Just started number 1 and number 2. We haven't seen any Russians yet, and later on tonight we're going to see some, and I think they'll come to life a little bit.
Yeah, no vested interest here for a Venezuelan and an Irishman fighting in the ring in the capital of the Soviet Union. But there's the right hand thrown by Lawlor. A good chopping right he gets through again. He just doesn't do enough of that. He can't sustain any series of blows.
The other kid's hands are too quick for him.
Yeah, they really are. The Venezuelan is amazingly quick. Turns him around right there, and is cautioned by the referee, McGuire of the United States, for that. We're into round 3. with the pace continuing to be set by David Griman. We have earlier seen the first American, Juan Acevedo, get off the plane less than 24 hours later, take on a tough Korean from North Korea and lose by a margin of 5 points on average for the officials. So the other flyweights now in this division are continuing to try to qualify, along with Anthony Arthur Johnson of the United States from St. Louis. But Griman has it pretty much his own way. Half a dozen or more short chopping blows to the head. Those are all scoring blows in this game. And the low head is being cautioned now from the referee McGuire.
Oh, a good combination.
He got his best combination in. A good left setup and a hammering right to follow. A second right thrown right there. I know he's had trouble doing initiating it because of the quickness of Venezuela.
Well, if you can get a good young fighter, he's got a lot of stamina and quick hands, you just got to teach him to keep throwing punches. You're going to have yourself a fine amateur fighter.
You bet. Well, here is Griman again at the bell coming on, as is Lawlor now getting right down to the final few seconds of competition. Lawlor had a pretty good third round, but I fear the damage down to the first two might be too extensive by Griman of Venezuela. We'll see with their decision. The Venezuela and Lawlor of Ireland. Griman with a good edge in the first two rounds, who was able to sustain it in part in the third round, despite a valiant attempt by Lawlor to overcome his quickness later in the final round. And the five judges just tallying up their scorecards, and we'll have the announcement here momentarily from Moscow. It is a unanimous decision for David Griman, just 19 years old, from Venezuela. He will continue here in the Goodwill games. A 5-0 unanimous decision in the eyes of all the ringside judges and their flyweight bouts.